The country is all set to witness a high-voltage political showdown with the ruling NDA and opposition parties both flexing numbers ahead of next year's general elections, while the National Democratic Alliance has announced a mega meet in New Delhi tomorrow, expecting as good as 31 parties to reiterate support to the alliance. Meanwhile, 24 opposition parties are also all set to meet in Bengaluru shortly to iron out their differences and project a united front against the BJP ahead of the monsoon session of Parliament, which starts on the 20th of July. Alok Mehta, editorial director of ITV Network, is joining us live. We also have Deshrata Nigam, political analyst, live with us. Rajalakshmi Joshi, political commentator, also is joining us on the broadcast.
Then one can think of, but this kind of a unity based on defeating an individual like Mr. Modi, who's one of the most popular leaders in the world, and also the BJP. I think I have my doubts. Even if they unite, the people are quite smart. The voters are quite smart to look into it. So that.
Yes, Rajalakshmi Joshi, come in here. Now, this meeting, of course, in Bengaluru happening, at a time when the Parliament session is also around the corner. Perhaps this will also be an opportunity for the opposition to be in a huddle on a joint strategy on how to corner the government too in the upcoming monsoon session of Parliament. Do you believe it could be very stormy after this opposition meeting?
Good afternoon, Uday. And yes, the opposition has made almost all the parliament sessions very stormy in the past, whatever sessions they have had. So that is something that doesn't go very well with the citizens of India, because, a lot of important bills, a lot of important decisions, they get affected because of all these stormy sessions. And, most of these times you have seen that there have been a lot of cases where there were mountains out of molehills. So, that actually doesn't really work. But yes, you do have a point that they could actually raise certain issues collectively that and Aam Aadmi Party is very instrumental in trying to garner a lot of support for their opposition to the ordinance. Similarly, they could also have brought up certain issues, but ironically the thing is that the opposition, most of them, they don't actually come on the same page. Like what Alok Mehta ji was saying, and even like Deshrata Nigam ji was also saying, most of them, they in their own respective states, they are actually opposing each other. If you have seen, like in the case of TMC versus the Congress has very vehemently opposed a lot of things that happened during the elections, the panchayat elections recently, and they were the most vocal ones actually, apart from the BJP, of course. But now they were there. They were talking about the death of democracy. The Congress was talking about how Mamata Banerjee and her government, they actually, there was a death of democracy, they said. And here they're talking about how they're all coming together for saving democracy. So all these things, they go against them, and then they actually can't see or come on the same page. Now, Aam Aadmi Party, unless they get the support of all these parties for their ordinance, they don't really seem to be interested in this alliance. And that could be one of the reasons why the Congress has probably warmed up to the idea of supporting them in this thing against the ordinance. But then again, all of them, they definitely would not want to see the Congress in a position of power or of dominance, because they are the ones who have actually fought against them in all these states, against the Congress, and tried to put them out of power. And then bringing them back, this will look like some kind of a backdoor entry for the Congress. So they actually, especially during the seat sharing, more than anything else, is going to be a very tricky issue, because all of them will want to show their dominance. And that, I think, especially the seat sharing. And then they also have to come to a common minimum program, some kind of a manifesto. I think that is going to be a very big, huge task. Now, you were asking about the seat sharing. You were talking about the what exactly would be the issues they would come together to. So it is right now what is happening is, even for them to, a lot of them are still undecided about where exactly they should be putting their bets on. Like, for example, Nitish Kumar now, in a lot of statements, actually, it does look like he might even consider wanting to go and join hands with the NDA. Though, of course, they are. The people from the NDA, like you have seen, like Amit Shah ji, and a lot of people have said that the doors are absolutely closed for him. But even then, the person who was most instrumental in bringing together the opposition, if he is showing signs of actually warming up to the NDA, I mean, that speaks a lot about how the opposition still now is undecided, and most importantly, they all are people with huge ambitions, huge aspirations. Ambitions and aspirations is not something new in politics, but then this is something that all of them will have to actually put aside and come together, and then come to a common minimum program, and then work out something for the seat sharing. There's a lot of terms and conditions there that need to be ironed out, which looks like a very difficult task. So it doesn't look as easy as it sounds. And at the end of the day, the people have now seen, what are the positives of having a stable government. So it's like, even if one of the alliance partners backs out, the actual government doesn't really have any problems, which was not happening in the earlier alliances, if you have seen. So Alok Mehtaji very rightly pointed that out. So people are now very happy with the stable government, and that exactly is what the BJP is going to bank on, and that is what they keep talking about every time, about all the development projects, about all that has happened because of the stable government, and that has actually helped in bringing together all these infrastructure projects and a lot of things that couldn't see the light of day, because the earlier governments, every now and then, if you have a new government, that is a big problem. So then I think that the opposition could have played a little more smarter, but unfortunately they don't seem to learn their lessons very well with them.
For Akali Dal is very important if they also join. And you are right, Rajbhar are in there, and Chirag Paswan, Dalit vote. So these kind of combination, and they know who is the leading Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There it's not clear who is going to lead. Because these kind of alliance, ultimately the leaders, the experienced leader must be knowing. And then what Rajalakshmi ji also mentioned, that how they will work. Left parties, Communist Party will fight with Mamata Banerjee or Congress in Bengal and Kerala, or they work together. And what will happen with the workers?
All right, I'm going to leave it at that. We've run completely out of time. My thanks to all of our guests.